What is up, YouTube? It's Orbital Bacon back with another live stream. Greetings to my fellow alien travelers. Are you ready for another trip down the neon-laced rabbit hole of Cybertron? Part 2. Kiss Players. Is anyone prepared? Are any of us truly prepared? About to happen. Welcome everyone. I see Bug, Nick, As Wolf, Terra Bear. How's it going, everyone? Welcome. Stream today. So, if you were here last time on Bacon Stream Z, Optimus Prime burst into the headquarters of the EDC with a whole army of Legion clones, and he was with Marissa Fairborn. They were up to something, because she's supposedly one of the good guys. But it freaked out Xiao Xiao and Hot Rod. And Hot Rod, because he's under the impression this takes place in between season 2 and 3. So at this time, Optimus is dead. So Hot Rod, thinking Optimus is dead, just assumes this is some sort of evil zombie, especially with how violent he's. So he attacks Optimus, and Optimus promptly fights him off with his surf blade, the surfboard sword. So that's what happened last time, in case you missed it. So today, I'm going to be... Because that all happened in the manga. That all happened in the comics that came out over in Japan. So it sort of ended on a cliffhanger. Where that story continued, and what we're going to be covering today, was the radio drama. So they had 3 voice actresses come in and basically play the 3 main girls and probably some of the other parts as well. And they would continue the story over these radio dramas. And the radio dramas were actually collected on to CDs that were packaged in with the figures. And that's another thing that I want to get to today as far as covering more in depth, is the Toyline. I mentioned it a little bit last time, but we didn't really get into it. I think the only thing I talked about last time was just how some of the molds that were used for the Toyline were also used Vinyl Tech or alternator toy lines. So I'm going to actually show you, I've got a couple of pictures here of the actual Kiss Player figures that were packaged with the CDs. They had little figurines of the girls, of their Kiss Players, effective Kiss Players. And then we're going to finish the actual story here and not leave it on the cliffhanger of the surfboard fight against Hot Rod. I mean, you can't end it there. You can't end it there. So, hey, Tay, how's it going? Hello, Tay. Hello. Kelvin. Yes, yes. Primus, forgive us all. And God help us. All right, so let's get the browser open here. I found a few other things. So, like I said, I want to talk about the Toyline. But there was also something that was packaged in with the collection of all the radio dramas, which I believe was sold separately only in Japan. Most of this was only, which was called the Information Administration Teletraan 15 Go Go. And this was a series of single-page comics or manga, but it was just 1 page each. And there were 26 of them. And they each were written and drawn by Yuki Oshima, and that's our boy. Let me get a picture of him up on screen, by the way. It's our boy. This is this is the one you can all thank for Kiss Players. He's responsible. This is our mad lad here, Yuki Oshima, and he did an additional 26 pages, just single page little entries to this Teletraan Administration Information 15 Go Go. I probably got that mixed up. And it was meant to be like kind of advertisements, but because, you know, action figures, toy lines, all this stuff, it's not like it can be released on a regular schedule like normal comics would be or whatever. So he just kind of put them all together and they released them sporadically. But I have the 26 of them here. We're going to go over that. I'll pull that up on screen first. And that serves as sort of a like a lead-in, like it was establishing the world, like what all the characters were up to at this time. Since this is the Shadows of the Empire of Transformers. This is what we get in Transformers, where everyone else, Star Wars, Marvel, they get really good stuff in between. Like, look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe in between the Avengers movies, all the single character movies that were really well done for the most part. Star Wars had Shadows of the Empire back in the day. Now we got The Mandalorian, which is bridging the gap between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. Transformers, though, to bridge the gap between season 2 and 3, we got Kiss Players. What we got. So enjoy it. Enjoy it, everyone. Enough nonsense, though. Enough nonsense. Yes. Enough heroic nonsense. Let's take that deep dive down the rabbit hole. Let's begin. So this is the Information Administration, Teletraan 15. Go, go! I'll start with the first issue. I don't know how much time I'll spend on each one. I have only read the first few just to get a sort of an idea of what these were like, and we're probably in for a treat. I'm sure you're all excited. Yeah, I know. I can't freaking wait. Just get on with it. One last bit of hot dog in the grandstand, and I do have the super chat link up in the right-hand corner here. There's also a link in the description. If you feel so inclined, of course, it's not required, but if your generosity is always appreciated. Donation messages will be read on the screen with text-to-speech. Want to have some fun with that. So, let's get it. Enough heroic nonsense, come on. Stealing Megatron's lines now, let's go. All right, so first up is this one is a new character, I guess, because most of them, like I said, most of them are going to cover what the other Transformers, mostly the Autobots, were up to at this time. But this was released in the year 2005, which is interesting because that's when, of course, the movie, it is the year 2005. So this was meant to almost be like that tie-in to say, hey, it is 2005, so we're going to commemorate that with this special series, The Kiss Players. Thank you, Japan. You did us proud. But in the year 2005, Optimus Prime has made a startling discovery. Teletraan 1 has been sabotaged, and a lot of valuable bio and tech spec data is missing. As various Autobots panic, the call goes out to the orbiting satellite base Nana, commanded by the enigmatic Black Panther Man. Retrieve the missing information. Black Panther Man sends out Teletraan 15 to journey through time and space, get the missing data by researching the Transformers of various eras, past and future. Both 15 and her friend Teletraan 10 are shocked at the choice of the agent. So this is Teletraan 15 right here. Let's see if I can zoom in here. So here's Teletraan 15. She doesn't look too thrilled. Be summoned by the Black Panther Man. And he's going to send them, her and Teletraan 10, who we can only assume is another Wally. But he's sending them back in time, through time and space. Oh, I don't even know if it's back in time. It says through the future as well. To study Transformers. Gather data. This is the mission of the Black Panther Man. Sacred mission. It sounds like a Kamen Rider villain. It really does. And I think there is like a Jaguar Man in Kamen Rider, if I'm not mistaken. Kelvin, I can't do anything. He's too powerful, Kelvin. I'm gonna need your help. Den 10 just JoJo'd. Just JoJo'd everywhere. Not yet, man, not yet. It's too soon. It's too soon. All right. But thank you for joining. Bio Creator, what's up? We don't talk about Teletraan 2 through 9 or 11 through 14, okay? There are reasons. All right. On to the next one. Like I said, these are short. Like the girls. Perceptor is the subject of the next issue. Teletraan 15's first study. It's Perceptor. She catches in the act of being super creepy to a microchip he's examining, giggling about how it's time for the chip's checkup. Oh, hello there, little chip. It's time for your checkup. I believe the wounds are kawaii. Interrupted in his work, he retracts his faceplate. That's right, because the figure had a faceplate. If you remember, G1 Perceptor had a faceplate. His tone changing from creepazoid to clinical, demanding to know who this young girl is. Tell me more about you, little girl. Have you come for a checkup as well? Once 15 is done recording her memo on Perceptor, taking notes. Buddy, you're gonna get canceled. She's taking all their notes. She's getting receipts on you, buddy. The scientist takes 15 on a jaunt in his seldom-seen tank mode. Though 15 is less than thrilled with the bumpiness of the ride, I will leave it to your own individual interpretations of what that means. These were just single pages, okay? Think single page of each one. So we don't get to see said bumpy ride, but you can only assume that it was detailed in the dialogue. And she was probably making faces that... Alright, I'll stop. I need a drink. It's too soon. Alright, we're only... What is this, issue 2? Let's go, guys. Come on, we can... These are single pages. We can make it. We can do this, guys. We can do this. Crimson, what's up? Welcome. Oh, we're looking at Kiss players. In depth. Up close. Personal. It's an infamous series. A lot of people... No, Bio, this is real, dude. This is real. This is official. This is canon. This is canon. Just let me move Breakstream. He's kind of in the way here. Give me a second. So you can take Creepazoid Perceptor. This is what Japan. This is how Japan interpreted Perceptor. Like they had the first 2 seasons and the movie to go on, and I believe Perceptor shows up in season 2, or in the movie at the latest. But I'm pretty sure he's in season. I don't know. I haven't watched the old cartoon in a long time. I have him on DVD, but like I can't remember the last time I watched him. Obviously, he wasn't a creeper in the cartoon or the movie. He was just a scientist that, like, he was kind of one-dimensional. Like, that was his character, scientist turned into a microscope. Hannah's like, that's boring. Boring, guys. Scientists? We've got enough scientists. This is Japan. We're all scientists over here. I know. Leave it to our boy Oshima. He knows. He knows. All right, so and the notes that Teletraan 15 took on Creepazoid Perceptor here. That others used to think that Perceptor was a coward or a wimp for choosing to do research rather than go into the battlefield, but they became convinced of his courage later. I don't know how. I mean, maybe looking in hindsight with the knowledge of the comics and stuff, like, yeah, he became kind of a badass sniper in Cups Wreckers, but is that what she did? Did she look into the future? Ken simply comments that it looks like 15 is really working hard on her data gathering assignment. Stop. Bumpy ride. Working hard. Stop. All right, let's continue. Oh, good. It's everyone's favorite. Really? Oh, good. I'm sure everyone's even happier to see this guy show up. All right. What could make Kiss players better? Wheelie. This is like porgs. Let's add porgs. Wait, I just looked at the picture. What is he doing? What is he doing to this child? This is Teletraan 15, so technically it's an AI. You know, do with that what you will. Do I need should I be censoring? Break stream, get your ass back up here. What? All right. Having traveled to the future, Teletraan 15 is looking for her next subject when Icarapa really lifts up her skirt. Why? I guess he, you know, one dimension. He just rhymes. That's all he did in the movie. He just rhymed. So, once again, our boy Oshima, brilliant lad. He says, I know what to do. I know how to fix this boring character. All he does is rhyme. What's that? No. He needs to be an offender. He needs to be committing assault on these robots that look like people. Why does Teletraan take the form of a young human girl? Because it's Teletraan, you know, that's a Cybertronian AI, right? So was this Optimus do this? Was it Black Panther Man? Bio, I see the word panties. And remember, keep this in mind, Bio. This is canon. This is all real. All real. Prowl would like to know your location. Prowl like just leans in. That would be a good animation loop to make in Source Filmmaker. Get like Prowl from Transformers Devastation. Was he in that? I don't know. Find a Prowl model, a 3D model that somebody can animate, and have him lean in. Take a seat. All right. So mesmerized by the whiteness of her panties, and this is real. This is all real. Wheelie, this little perv, is mesmerized by the whiteness. Look at the white difference. Teletraan 10 comes to her partner's rescue. Thankfully, somebody does, delivering a flying kick to Wheelie's face. He deserved it. Oh, he deserves worse than that, but he deserved a flying kick. Wheelie makes his escape in vehicle mode before he can be arrested. He speeds off. And 15 thanks her hero. But 10 is quick to berate and comically kick her careless companion. See, 10's not having any of this. 10 made a little a cheeky note in the last issue here about Perceptor, like, oh yeah, she's really working hard. I don't think 10's having any of this. Kicks Wheelie in the face and then kicks 15 like, what are you doing? Watch your ass. No notes. That's fine. We can move on. I'm fine with moving on. All right, Breaks. Get out of the way. Because now we're talking about Cup, and he looks really happy, so this should be okay. I'm going to go ahead and start scrolling down. All right, I don't know what's happening here, but let's find out. So Wheelie's escape is cut short by the arrival of Cup and Recoil. Cup picks up Wheelie and scolds him as Teletraan 15 looks on in thanks. Cup, thinking he recognizes the young female bot, suddenly gives her a huge spine-crushing hug and begins telling stories about their adventures together. As Cup recounts another Ick-Yak tale, he suddenly realizes he actually has no clue who Teletraan 15 is, and promptly drives off, leaving one very confused 15 behind. So Cup is senile and hugging random children. This is the world we live in. These are our heroic Autobots. Catch up with the chat. Run. Yes, save yourself, Battle Frame. Welcome. Save yourself before it's too late. Cup is a boomer, and he is in full boomer mode. He has it activated. He has boomer mode activated. And he just comes up and what's funny is, where would he recognize a small child from? Especially that would remind him of like old adventures. What have you been up to, Cup? What skeletons are in your closet? Oh, hello, Shadow. Welcome. As I take a sip, I'm thirsty myself, for real though. Literally thirsty. Need some water there. Welcome, Shadow. You're just in time to have beloved characters ruined by Japan. You just missed Cup's senile boomer moment. Boomer mode activated. Let's see, were there any notes taken? Teletran 10 is absolutely baffled by Cup's musket laser. How can something that fires acid be considered a laser? What the hell? Yeah. That's the least of your concerns here, okay? That is the least of your concerns. Next up, we've got Hot Rod. Okay, now Hot Rod has made an appearance already, at least in the story that we've covered, because when we were going over the manga last, well, not the last stream I did, but, you know, the last Kiss Player stream. He is fused with Xiao Xiao, which is one of the Kiss players. So I'm going to assume that this is probably a past version of Hot Rod. Traveling to Earth in the future. I keep forgetting that they go both past and future time travel adventure. So this is a even further future. Teletran 15 is accosted by a stray Nova droid, one of Dark Nova's mindless minions. She is saved by Hot Rod, who cuts the thing in two with his buzzsaw arm, which he needs to use more often. 15 is thankful, but can't help but notice how much shorter Hot Rod is than when she last saw him. Irked, Micromaster Hot Rod accuses 15 of being the source of the transwarp wormholes that have been popping up all over the planet. When a new one erupts nearby, the Autobots decide that maybe they should take this discussion elsewhere. So apparently this is some war-torn future with all sorts of crazy wormholes popping up. Dark Nova, that's a whole nother... Why not? We're down a wormhole. There we go. Here's Dark Nova, a weird alien thingy from the Return of Convoy portion of the Generation 1 continuity. So this is obviously from another part of the Japanese G1 continuity, because it goes beyond Kiss Players. Kiss Players is just the weirdest part. There's a whole lot of weirdness. And a whole lot of tentacles. Tentacles everywhere. Tentacles for everyone. But Dark Nova is from one of the other parts of Japanese G1 cartoon continuity, which we'll probably get in at some point. But at least now you have a nice visual representation to haunt your nightmares. No notes on this one. So it's just future Hot Rod, and it's basically, this was a setup because 15 is shown or described to be sort of perplexed and almost irritated by how much shorter, I'm sorry, Hot Rod's the one who's irritated. She's just confused by how much shorter he is because she's used to seeing a different Hot Rod. So this is supposed to set up to people like, what is she used to look? And then you would get his introduction in the manga. Star Convoy. Now, Star Convoy, I think, is Wing Saber. I believe that's who Star Convoy is. Or at least that's who we know him as. Nothing too weird in this image. We might be calming down from. They might be giving us a breather from the weirdness. Alex K9, welcome. She's an accessory. Battle. where the multiverse comes from. This is where the whole Transformers multiverse comes from. This was back in 2005 when all this. All right, so as Hot Rod and Teletran 15 move away from the opening transwarp hole, the massive star convoy from the form Optimus Prime takes in this time period. Okay, no, I'm not. That's not Optimus Prime in whatever timeline they're in. Appears before them, transforming into his flying truck mode. He alerts Hot Rod that the reborn Megatron and Dark Nova are merging, and he needs assistance in the coming battle. Hot Rod is more than happy to jet off and save the universe and begins to say his goodbyes to 15. Yeah, he's not really attached to these random Teletran incarnations and wants to be the hero. Dark Nova Megatron? Let's go! One of the less odd things. Okay, do we not get an image for Galvatron? Or is it was it too spicy? Before Hot Rod can leave with Star Convoy on his new mission, the transwarp hole that opened a few minutes prior unleashes a powerful blast of energy. Hot Rod is severely damaged, and Teletran 15 looks on in horror as a massive gray and purple robot emerges from the hole in the sky. Back in the past, the Nana satellite, on the Nana satellite, Teletran 10 is horrified by the event she's seeing as Teletran 15 relays the data. So Teletran 10 stayed behind and is just collecting all the data. Yet the Teletran's commander, Black Panther Man, Kurohyo Man, I'm going to butcher that name, that's why I'm just going to call him the English, seems oddly sanguine over what's happening. He's like Gendo from Evangelion. He's just sitting there like, yes. Back in the future, Teletran 15 steps between the injured Hot Rod and the massive robot, begging the intruder to stop. Hot Rod gasps, calling her an idiot for putting herself in harm's way. He's one to talk. He is one to talk. You idiot. Don't put yourself in harm's way. That's my line. That's my job. Suddenly, 15 finds her right arm flying away, severed at the bicep. Okay, I'm going to imagine that that's why there's no image here. Crap. Next, we get Galvatron. Oh, never mind. I was thinking, they're not going to show the arm getting ripped off. No, there you go. Severed arm in his mouth. Galvatron Volume 2. He gets a two-parter. He was special. He was Oshima's favorite. Hot Rod's off to get Prime killed again. Yeah. He knows he doesn't want anyone else taking the spotlight of getting in harm's way. That's his job. Battleframe says he's going to go get some pizza pops. Battleframe, you're a brave man. Brave man going to get some food. Going to eat during this. I hope it all turns out well for you. Yeah, we thought Galvatron was insane in our show. In season 3, when they find him on Char and he's all, "Who disturbs my lava bath?" He's already cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs there. Ain't seen nothing yet. And in case you're wondering why I haven't shown up in here more often, I don't want this in my memory banks. I don't need my processors feasting on this. My optics. I will spare my optics. Can't run, Prime. Be brave. Be brave like the rest of us. Teletran 15 lies on the ground in shock, her right arm severed, clutched between the insane Galvatron's teeth. The Decepticon is busy trying to crush the life out of a significantly smaller Hot Rod. Still gotta talk about his size difference. Look at the size difference of Hot Rod. He's so much smaller. Teletran 15 hears her companion, Teletran 10's voice, because 10 has rushed to this time point to come to her friend's aid once again. First it was when Wheelie was flipping up her skirt. Now Galvatron has ripped her arm off. She's just having a rough time. She clutches 15 close as Star Convoy engages the powerful Decepticon. The other Autobots come to help the Teletran 15's vision fades out. Will she make it? Galvatron Part 3! And something is happening to his butt! And suddenly, surprise! Teletran 15 wakes up in a recovery bed on board the satellite Nana, her missing arm restored, but the vision of the homicidal Galvatron trying to crush Hot Rod, the tiny, smaller Hot Rod, still fresh in her memory. Teletran 10 is about to visit her friend when she's stopped by her commander, Black Panther Man, who has some interesting news to tell her about the Data 15. Meanwhile, back in the recovery room, it seems 15's time with Hot Rod has had another effect. Her new right arm has the ability to convert into a buzzsaw, just as Hot Rod's does. I keep reading ahead and I'm thinking of like Mega Man. She's gained an ability. I don't know what this image has to do with. But she wakes up with buzzsaw arms. Buzzsaw hands. Who doesn't want buzzsaw hands? Crimson, the characters from Kiss Players came from the well of all sparks, just like all Cybertronians. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. They're in the wisdom of ages. They're in the covenant of Primus. The book of Megatron. The book of Megatronus. What volume are we even on? I'm not sure. We're just on the blaster volume. I wish it would give me numbers here so I would know how far along we are. But here we have Blaster, who's ejecting his tapes onto Teletran 15. It's not Teletran 15 is not still fully recovered from her run-in with Galvatron. As she stares off into the sky, Blaster is nearby in boombox mode and decides it's his job to cheer up the moody Teletran. Moody, like, hey, so you got your arm ripped off. Big deal. It's back now and it can turn into a buzzsaw. But cheer you up. After listening to her problems, he advises her not to worry about what she ought to do and suggests that she concentrate on doing what she loved best. To help her out, he gives her a tape and tells her that he should listen to music to cheer her up at any time she feels down. A thankful 15 takes the tape, feeling better, and Blaster leaves. Mission accomplished. So, don't worry about your responsibilities. This is a true Autobot. Blaster, PogChamp, Autobot of the day. Don't worry about your responsibilities. Just listen to music, have fun, do what you want to do. In fact, I've got some music for you right here. Take one of my tapes. Don't worry that it popped out on its own and was moving around. Don't worry about that. Ignore that. It's fine. It's a tape. It plays music. What? It's 2005? There are CDs and MP3s. We don't listen to tapes. I don't care. Take it. It's the only way for you to feel better. Unfortunately, the tape turns out to be full of really depressing music. What a twist! What a twist. You guys thought it was going to be something pervy, didn't you? Didn't you? Thought it was going to be something pervy. No, it was just depressing music. It was just sad boy tunes. It was Blaster's sad boy mix. Wants her to think he's Thoughtful. Chicks dig that. That's dating advice from Blaster today. Oh, there's an extra volume. Teletraan 15 has just uncovered some astounding data. In 2006, the Earth Defense Command, or the EDC as we've been referring to them, will roll out a new force, the KISS players. Oh, so this was, like I said at the start, this was meant to be an advertisement all along. So this is in its truest form, saying, what's this? Data from the future? There's going to be something bizarre and cringy and confusing in more ways than one. I guess they expected people to react like, sign me up, let's go. Blaster's Blues, yes. All right, so now we've got Steeljaw. This is interesting. Steeljaw is not talked about too much back in G1, at least not in the cartoons and stuff. When I hear Steeljaw, I'm thinking of Robots in Disguise 2015. Was that the same character? Or a different version of the same character? I don't know. Visiting the future once again, Teletraan 15 finds herself knocked out, with Steeljaw protecting her. She awakens with a huge jet former kneeling over her. Steeljaw recognizes the scent of his old colleague Jetfire, even though he doesn't recognize this body form. Why does she smell like Jetfire? I don't want to know. You know what? I don't want to know. We're going to keep going. Jetfire warns the pair that the area is about to become a battlefield and offers to take them to his commander for their safety. Scooping them up, and I think that was probably meant to say Steeljaw, not Jet. Scooping them up, he shifts to jet mode and flies away, unaware that a pair of Decepticons are lurking in the force below, waiting for the perfect chance to sneak attack. Wary of. Teletraan 10 is more than perturbed by Steeljaw's fondness for the smell of young women and threatens to reveal publicly his embarrassing tendency to rust. Okay. There's a lot to unpack there. I was trying to just skip over why does she smell like Jetfire in the first place. Maybe she didn't actually smell like Jetfire. Maybe Steeljaw's making it up. And he's just like, oh yeah, you know, it smells like one of my friends. But I'm in the future. I'm not from your time. I'm not from here. Shut up. There's Decepticons coming. I gotta take you back to the base. Trust me. It is the only way. And then we've already seen Teletraan 10 save her from Pervert Wheelie. She only rolled her eyes at Creepazoid Perceptor, but she kicked Pervert Wheelie in the face. Now she's, I guess, just threatening Steeljaw. He has some sort of rust problem. Don't worry, Steeljaw. It happens to a lot of guys. But she's threatening to reveal that. Threatening to dox him. Exposed. He doesn't stop perving out. A master of his craft. Catch up with the chat. The scent. We're insert sound clip of Megatron. I smell you, boy. The scent. Steeljaw is a white knight. This timeline. Steeljaw exposed. All right, next we get Battle Convoy. All right, this is like G2 Optimus, Laser Optimus. En route to his commander, Jetfire is attacked by Smokescreen and Dreadwing. Teletraan 15 is a bit panicky, but the appearance of Optimus Prime, now called Battle Convoy, quickly changes her mood. The Autobot commander swings his blade, cleaving off one of Dreadwing's wings. Through Jetfire's canopy, 15 notes that Optimus looks kind of sad. Well, maybe he's been listening to Blaster's mix. No notes here, but Optimus doing his thing, rushing in, being heroic, chopping Decepticons into pieces. This is fine. This is all fine. Nothing wrong with this. All right, so we're on volume 14. So we've got about 10 or 12 more to go. We're a little over halfway there. I think that was the halfway point. In fact, 13. All right, so this one just says deep questions. I don't know if this focuses on a certain character. Although we've got... now, this is Steeljaw right here. Right? Steeljaw. So the other guy, the Jet was Jetfire. I don't know. That synopsis was written odd, and I thought that the big jet former was Steeljaw, the way that it was worded, but obviously Steeljaw. I know Transformers. Why do robots smell? Why do they even have the ability to smell? Like, why do they smell like anything? And why would they even have the ability to smell? I mean, why would they smell like anything other than metal? Or lubricant. Teletraan 15 gives Jetfire her thanks. She now has all the missing data she needs. Steeljaw confirms that the information has been recorded. Pair prepare to return to their own time. Before they can go, though, Jetfire asks 15 a question. Can I smell you one more time? In her travels through time, had she ever discovered when the fighting would end? When will it ever end? Why are we here? So Jetfire basically just asked her, why are we here? Just to suffer. When would the progress of science finally bring about peace? 15 sadly realizes she can't answer that. War never changes. Meanwhile, back on the Nana satellite, Teletraan 10 has made a startling discovery. What could it be? Starscream? Teletraan 10 has been going over security footage of the Ark from the sabotage event and has made a bizarre discovery. Footage of her boss, Black Panther Man. What is he doing there? Meanwhile, Teletraan 15's passage back to Nana is a rocky one. And a mysterious force slams into the transwarp cruiser that she's been using to travel through time and space. Back on Nana, 10 is about to question Black Panther Man about the footage when 15 arrives. She crashes into the cruiser, she crashes her cruiser into the satellite. Striding free from the wreckage, 15 grabs 10 by the neck and snarls. Decepticon symbol appearing on her forehead, and her voice is not her own. She announces the arrival of the Decepticons' new leader. Black Panther Man is stunned as he recognizes the voice. Starscream! Starscream has possessed 15! The ghost of Starscream. So, at this time, like I said, this takes place between season 2 and 3, which is also after the movie. So Optimus is dead, but Starscream has also been killed. He's killed by Galvatron in the movie. And we already know that Starscream has a unique spark that goes to ghost mode when he dies, and he can possess people. He's been shown to possess Waspinator. There was an episode, I think it might have even been a 2-part episode in season 3, where he is bargaining with the head of Unicron, trying to get a body. So Starscream has a weird spark. And so he's possessed Teletraan 15. This is actually an interesting twist. I didn't see this coming. This is actually interesting. I don't know how to handle this, chat. I was expecting just to cringe the whole time. I had my defenses up. This is actually interesting. Starscream has possessed Teletraan 15. He's choking out 10. I thought Black Panther Man was going to be the surprise villain. Look at this. Evil Teletraan 15. Possessed by Starscream. Possessed by Starscream's mutant indestructible spark, Teletraan 15 has taken over Nana. Teletran 10 kicks her friend in the butt in anger, but gets fried by I-beams for her effort. Yeah, I would imagine that a possessed character with that, you know, whenever Starscream possesses a character, they seem to get a bit of a power boost. I recall Waspinator was like super fast and maybe stronger, but I know he was a lot faster when Starscream possessed. Because it would be like their power level bolstered by whatever power Starscream's Spark still has in ghost form. So it's going to be stronger. But 10 tried. At least she tried. She kicked her in the ass. Didn't work, but she tried. Black Panther Man tells her that 15 is no longer in control of her own body, and somehow Starscream is in. Starscream, meanwhile, stops in mid-gloat, having dug through 15's data tracks. He learns about the incredible powers of the KISS players. He leaves 15's body and rockets to Earth. Uh-oh. Starscream goes, wait a minute. There are anime girls on Earth that are willing to kiss us for more power? I gotta get in on that. He just immediately sets off to Earth. There are anime girls down there. They're kissing us for power-ups. Sign me up. Alright, so Volume 3. Oh no! This is like evil Teletran. She's done an outfit change and everything. Or I don't even think that's Teletran. Is that Atari? On Earth, EDC KISS player Atari heads for the toilet. Oh no. Stop. We've gone too far. We've gone too far. Stop. Oh no. It was too good to be true. It was getting interesting. Starscream's ghost comes in, possesses a character. It's like, oh, okay. No. Cut to girl on toilet. Once inside, though, she is possessed while on the toilet by the spark of Starscream, who is thrilled to have taken one of the most powerful KISS players alive. Starscream starts making threats to the other KISS players, but nobody can take her seriously at all. Even drawing Atari's pistol and shooting at them can't seem to stop them from giggling or looking embarrassed. If only Starscream had known that you're supposed to pull your panties back up once you're done using the toilet. Now, I don't know if you guys... Actually, I know some of you in the chat are familiar with Johnny Flash's videos. He just did a roast on Starscream. Now, wouldn't you have liked to have had this knowledge when it was time to leave those roast comments? When Johnny was asking for those roast comments, like, hey, roast Starscream. And, you know, people were talking about, oh, yeah, you know, Galvatron shot you once. Urban Dictionary, haha. Nah. How about the time you possessed a little girl and while she was on the toilet and then walked out and started threatening people with a gun while your panties were down around your ankles? You don't walk away from that one, Starscream. That's you're done. Done. All right. On to the next one. The patron saint of KISS players here, looking on his creations and smiling. At least he understood Starscream. He understood this character gets humiliated and embarrassed all throughout the series, all throughout the movie. And just like he showed us how to really spice up a character. Ah, boring scientist. Ah, this little guy just rhymes all the time. Creepazoid, pervert, I gotcha. Now Starscream, he already had some pretty good character qualities. He wasn't he was kind of one note, but he wasn't necessarily like flat. Like he had a little bit of depth to him. But Oshima was like, I'll do you one better. So there are 3 new Transformers on the Nana satellite. The Cassettes, Glit, Rosanna, and Sundor. One of these things is not like the other. Glit and Sundor? Okay. Not the best Cybertronian names, but still Cybertronian-ish sounding. Rosanna, though? Where did that come from? Teletraan 15 is happy to see them, but Teletraan 10 has issues with the sheer amount of noise the trio make. What with Rosanna's singing, Glit's boozing, and Sundor's sun-fact infatuation. So, Glit's just drinking all the time, just drunk. I think we can all relate, though, this far into the stream, with what we've witnessed thus far. I think we can all relate to Glit. Glit's our homie, okay? Glit is our... This is who we, the audience, see the world of this story through. Just boozing. That's all we can do. But Rosanna apparently likes to sing a lot, and Sundor is obsessed with the sun. Who'd have thunk it? Sadly, thanks to the anti-electron field that has been thrown up around the Earth, preventing Transformers from reaching the surface, the Cassettes are here to stay. There's your comic relief. Teletraan 10 finally confronts her commander, Black Panther Man, with footage of himself at the Teletraan 1 computer at roughly the time of the sabotage event. Demands an explanation. Black Panther Man is unfazed and slickly evasive. But 10's suspicions must be put on hold as a wormhole is opened up above Earth, ejecting 3 mysterious objects that fall to the planet below. The Kiss Players singing group is on a tour. Is on a tour stop in America when 3 small orbs scream down from the sky. Each one basically forces one of the 3 girls to kiss them. Now, this is the actual introduction of the Kiss Players that was briefly covered in part 1 of this stream. So it's probably, I'm guessing the Auto Trooper is one of them, the one that that guilts Atari into kissing him. Each one basically forces one of the 3 girls to kiss them, and with that, the girls, orbs, and the Autobot spaceship Brave Maximus are sent hurtling through time and space. The 3 girls are told by the orbs that they must collect all spark fragments from various heroic Transformers via kissing. So that's the only way. It's the only way. You can't use like some bit of machinery, like tech, sci-fi tech. You can't use like a MacGuffin. You have to kiss them. Kissing, the only way. Get the power to extract essence. Let me catch up with the chat. Hey Blue, glad you could make it. Very glad you could make it. You're just in time for a bit of emotional scarring from official canon Transformers lore, straight out of Japan. The girls and their new Sparkbot partners will remain invisible and intangible to those in the timelines they visit. Marissa and Angela find themselves in America in 1985, witnessing the Battle of Sherman Dam, and take a fragment of from Optimus Prime. Wait, so that means one of them kissed him then? Because you don't just take a fragment. You have to get that via kissing. Oh, crap. Xiao Xiao and Zangetsu rocket to 2010 to take a piece of Allspark from Rodimus Prime during the Galactic Olympics on Athenia. Atari and Stardust go even further in the future to 2011 and the fragment within Fortress Maximus. I want to get to the end of this because we have to get to the actual... Every time I name a stream something, this happened with the last one with the comics, we don't get to it. It's what happens in the next stream. So let's get through this here. At Scramble City, the KISS player cassettes are in a panic over the disappearance of their human partners. However, this panic is interrupted by Ultra Magnus, who tells the bots they have a new assignment. Meanwhile, millions of years in the past, Atari and Stardust must claim an Allspark fragment from Optimus Primal. However, when the fragment emerges, a mysterious force steals it away before the SparkBot can collect it. So we're going back with, you see here, Atari and Stardust. I believe this is Stardust here. Going back, and hey, Waspinator with a little... Alright, Xiao Xiao pushes Brave Maximus to overdrive in pursuit of the force that's stealing Allspark fragments before the SparkBots can collect them. However, the spaceship hits the wall of time, separating the girls and their ship. Brave Maximus crashes on the planet Master 4 million years before the start of the KISS player's journey. The crash is witnessed by a group of refugees in Cybertron. Xiao Xiao ends up separated from the other girls in an alternate reality. There, she is scooped up by Vector Prime, who can actually see and interact with her. Now, this is an interesting thing about Brave Maximus crashing on the planet Master and his crash being witnessed by a group of refugees, Cybertron, because Cybertron went through a whole lot of craziness in their original continuity, like in the millions of years leading up to the events of G1, of cartoon, the movie, you know, everything that takes place around whatever, 1980, 2005, all that stuff. But millions of years ago, they dealt with stuff like the Rust Plague. And they had a space bridge network at the time that they actually had to shut down. It was a lot like what's going on with our pandemic, where like a lot of travel had to be restricted. And they shut down the space bridge network, and it ended up cutting off certain colonies because Cybertronians had, at this point, had left Cybertron. They were still, obviously, they were still living on Cybertron, but they had spread out beyond Cybertron and started colonizing other worlds. And when the Rust Plague happened, they were shut off and became either refugees or, you know, kind of stranded there. And that's where you end up getting groups like the Speed Planet. When you see, if anybody who's watched like Transformers Cybertron or Galaxy Force in Japan, when you see these other planets like the Speed Planet, the Jungle Planet, or Beast Planet, whatever it was called, the Giant Planet, where they kept building it bigger and bigger. They were obsessed with like construction and everything. These planets that had these really niche type Cybertronians, they developed that way because that's all they knew. It was like a group of speedsters. They got stranded there and became Speed Planet. You know, they were a group of Constructobots, got stranded there, became the Build Planet or Giant Planet. So this actually sets up, because there are certain things, like I said, this is canon. As bizarre as this is, as crazy as all this is, it is canon. And it does set up some of the whereabouts of why certain characters are where they are or why they are. I'll do you one better. Why is this character? So this answers that. So, you know, it's pretty interesting. So there's a few interesting things here. And you can even see Vector Prime here. Let me make sure that it's on screen there. You can see Vector Prime here. This is how he was depicted in Cybertron, in Transformers Cybertron. Waspinator, no, Kelvin, they drug poor Waspinator in on this. They drug poor Waspinator into this. So Xiao Xiao, I'm sorry, I already read that part. Xiao Xiao ends up separated from the other girls in an alternate reality. There, she is scooped up by Vector Prime, who can actually see and interact with her. Because I should say, I was about to say we already know, but I should say, if you're familiar with Vector Prime, then you know he's got like time and dimension powers. Xiao Xiao is pulled from the alternate reality by the same mysterious force that's been stealing the Allspark fragments. The Transformers' creator, Primus, he's gathered the 3 KISS players together and explains to them what they've really been pulling from across time and space are bits of algamoous energy. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Anglemoise. I don't even know how to say that. We're just going to call it A energy. Bits of A energy, the force that fuels Unicron. What a twist! Sparkbots flee and Primus gives chase in his vehicle mode, causing the... What's his vehicle mode? He's like a planet, I thought. Causing the girls to wonder why a god would transform into a camper van. What? Suddenly the Sparkbots transform, only this time the special marks that the girls had given them have been replaced by the sign of Unicron. The girls are horrified, realizing that they've been used to help the ultimate evil. So I'm guessing that Black Panther Man is actually working for Unicron. And that, because that's the only thing that would make sense why it's been set up this way. The Sparkbots use the Unicron energy they've collected at a pool on prehistoric Earth to restore Unicron. Primus and the KISS player girls follow, and Primus is able to seal away the still weak Unicron from the Sparkbots. So the Sparkbots must be evil. Much to Marissa's shock, Primus then creates the massive Brave Maximus, giving the gigantic Transformer the task of guarding the pool of dark energy. His task done, Primus ignores the girl's question on just what the hell is going to happen next and converts into a glowing golden sphere. The girls suddenly find themselves back in 2007, right when they originally left on their journey through time and space. Having had one major ride, the trio decide that they're ready to make their own future. We must be getting near the end here. Teletraan 15 has been chained up, held prisoner, as Black Panther Man has revealed security footage that shows she was the previously unknown saboteur who wiped data from Teletraan's databanks back in 2005. Probably under mind control or something. Teletraan 10 is shocked and hurt as Black Panther Man speaks, but they're interrupted by 15, who has gotten free thanks to the help from the KISS player's Cassetteron. She busts into the Transwarp cruiser, destroying the data disk she had recorded all of her research on, which sends Black Panther Man into a fury. As the Cassetterons tackle Black Panther Man, 15 commandeers the cruiser and sends it back in time. Teletraan 10 suddenly intervenes, holding a blaster to her friend's head. However, as tears form in her eyes, she realizes she just can't pull the trigger. Bit of drama there. Oshima trying to insert a bit of drama here, but not really working. Teletraan 10 drops her gun, unable to shoot her best friend. Black Panther Man is shocked to find that they've arrived in 2005, inside the Ark, just as his past self is trying to interface with Teletraan 1. 15 rushes past Black Panther Man. She rushes the past Black Panther Man, but the present one clamps his jaws down on her ankle, stopping her cold. Through the bite, he howls that she's going to ruin his plan. He had traveled from the future to use the Autobots' computer data to alter the time stream and remove unnecessary conflict. 15 is resolute, though, uses her buzzsaw arm to cut off her own leg and free herself. She then lunges at Teletraan 1's control panel, thrusting her buzzsaw into it. The damage erases chunks of bio and tech specs data, and there's a flash of light. Back inside the cruiser, 10 helps a heavily damaged 15 stay upright. Black Panther Man admits a grudging respect for his subordinates for foiling his plan, then promptly dumps the girls and cassettes out of the ship. He vanishes in a burst of transwarp. Despite their predicament, 15 is happy to have averted a major time catastrophe. She's lost an arm, a leg. It only cost her an arm and a leg. And that wraps up the Administration Information Go 15 report. So let's get to the actual radio drama here. If everyone's still with me. There is no drama. Yeah, it's basically a time loop. as most time travel storylines, plot lines often end up being, is a paradox or a loop, which is unfortunate. There's no real good way to do it. Let's see here though. Let me zoom out. What I had uh, set up next anyway along the stream. We've already been going over an hour here, and I didn't realize that those little pages would take so long. Thought, they're each a page long. It won't be that bad. However, there's a lot. If you can see here, I'm scrolling. There's a lot when it comes to these, because this is where it actually wraps up the main story. So I should save this for a part 3. I thought I'd get it done in part 2, but that'll keep us here all night. Real quick, before I do go, I'll show you the toys, because we were discussing that at the beginning of the. So I wanted to show you how ridiculous, at the very least, the Optimus Prime figure was. So this was the one that is based on the Vinyltech. Well, I don't know if it's based on, but shares a mold with the Vinyltech Alternators toy line. But as you can see, it was packaged here with the CD that contained a few episodes of the radio drama. Had its own interesting box art, as it were. And this is Marissa. This is Marissa Fairborn, and that's Optimus's Kiss player, the one that fuses with him to give him his power up. And you can see it came with a little figurine of her and this surfboard. And the coolest thing about this, I mean, like the figure itself, because the Vinyltech Alternators toy line, they were pretty cool because they were meant to look like very realistic vehicles. They even licensed out actual vehicles like Dodge Ram, Dodge Viper, things like that. I think there was Honda vehicles, Acura. So they would actually license out vehicles and make their vehicle modes as realistic as possible, where the doors could open up. You could see seats on the inside, steering wheel. Most of them, you were able to pop the hood and see the engine inside, and the engine block usually or something. So it was pretty cool toy line as far as the Transformer figures themselves. But the ones that they used with the Kiss players were packaged with these figurines of the girls and had exclusive weapons, because this surfboard here is the aforementioned Surf Blade, the one that Optimus uses to fight Hot Rod. See him holding it there. Let me move my avatar out of the way. See Optimus there holding the Surf Blade. And it's a pretty cool transformation. You see that the surfboard itself folds in half and then has sort of this serrated edge, so it becomes a double-sided blade like Darth Maul's lightsaber. So it's a pretty cool weapon design. I like the vehicle modes, and you can see how the figurine is able to sit on the back of the truck. In some cases of the other figures, they were able to sit inside the car. Let me pull up. Here's Hot Rod. So you can see Hot Rod and Xiao Xiao. And instead of a surfboard, she came with, I believe these are like dumplings. And you can see in this picture here, she's actually able to sit inside the vehicle mode. They had seats and that you can see would open up. Like I said, the alternator designs were pretty cool. Here's Hot Rod doing a kick for whatever reason. He has a interesting spicy box art. And there's the CD with radio dramas. And then this was the Auto Trooper. This was the one, guys. If you were here for the first Kiss Players stream, this was the one who got his arm bitten off by one of the Legion, the Legion clones, whatever they were called, that look sort of like Megatron with Venom's face. But he gets his arm bitten off because he's trying to tell Atari here. This is the girl, Atari. He's trying to tell her, hey, you need to kiss me so that we can fuse and power up so that I can defeat this guy. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't feel comfortable doing that. And he's like, you got to kiss me, do it. And he ends up getting his arm bit off. This is the guy. So now you can kind of see what he looked like. He was just kind of a generic Auto Trooper. Kind of looks like Prowl, actually. If you gave him a different head, you could make this into a custom Prowl. But really, he was just Auto Trooper. He was just kind of a generic guy. But I remember him telling Atari, I hope you're happy. Hope you're happy with yourself. I lost an arm for you. And you can see, of course, the figurine sort of represents how stressed out she was most of the time. That's Auto Trooper. So yeah, the figures themselves were actually pretty cool as far as the Transformers. Like, they had the alternator designs with the realistic vehicle modes, and they were also, this was 2007, so they were also around the time when there was a lot of posability. They had just done the not Energon but Cybertron toy, which a little gimmicky with the Cyberlink, or not Cyberlink, Cyber Key gimmick. It was a little bit gimmicky, a little bit bulky with the Cyber Keys, but it was implemented pretty well in most cases, and there were some actually really standout figures in that line, like Cybertron Optimus is great. The Megatron was really, Soundwave was cool. So it was a cool toy line, and around that time, because that was on the back of like Beast Wars and 2001 Robots in Disguise and Armada and all that stuff. So they had kind of gone through this whole thing of they had a little bit of articulation in like Beast Wars and Robots in Disguise. Started getting bricky. There were some major bricks with Armada, and then the whole Super Link with the pants mode and shirt mode that they had in Energon was not very well received. So it was nice to see them sort of going back to form around the time of Binaltech and Alternators. So the figures were cool, but then of course you get the weird little figurines here. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if there's a picture of it, but I'm pretty sure she was able to fit inside the... Well. But with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up today's stream, just because I don't want to get into the radio drama without being able to finish it entirely. And we've already been going well over an hour, almost an hour and a half, so that doing the radio drama now would keep us here all night. But I do want to thank everyone for hanging out. I saw a lot of familiar faces. Kelvin, Tay, Bug, Battleframe, Bio. Let's scroll up here. Jazz Wolf, Nick, Crimson. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. Hope you had a good time. I'll be back in a couple of days with another stream. The next one, we'll be going back and revisiting some more of the crazy Marvel comics from back in the day did on the last stream. So I'm going to put a link in the description once this is uploaded, and it'll have a link to part 1 of Kiss Players. And then if you want to check out the stream that I did a couple days ago, that was the first part of the Marvel Comics deep dive. So check those out. I'll be back in a couple days. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. And this is Orbital Bacon and Optimus the freaking Prime signing off.